Hi everybody, this video is to give a deeper explanation about the study in Daily Zohar 1820. The main point of the study is to understand what is Tzedaka and what's the importance of Tzedaka. And the Zohar I quote here, it's saying, begin the Tzedaka da ilana dechayeh. Tzedaka is the tree of life. And everyone knows that the famous saying, Tzedaka tatzil mimavet, which means that Tzedaka saves from death. And let's try to understand this. Let's look at the tree of life here. We have the upper three sfirot, Keter, Chokhmah, and Binah. And we have the lower seven. We have the five that construct the vessel, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod. Yesod is the funnel, and Malchut is the poor one that the bottom doesn't have actually light of its own. Now, how the process goes here. Tzedakah is actually the connection to Yesod that draw light from the tree of life, and that light bring life to Malchut. The Zohar explains that Zeir Anpin is the aspect of the sun, and Malchut doesn't have light of its own, it must rely on the sun. If we block it, then we don't have light, we are in darkness, we are poor, in a poor state. But if we make a connection to Yesod, then the light can come and shine the world. That's why Malchut is the aspect of the moon, or the moon is the aspect of Malchut. And this is us. Without the light, we don't have life. We could be in total darkness. Like here, when we separate ourselves from the light, we are in darkness. So now this important. So when we do prayers, spiritual connections, we actually open our desire, form the vessel with our desire, and make a connection. Of course, the prayer is supposed to be, everything supposed to be according to Kabbalah. It's not just, God, I want this, I want that, give me this, give me that. It doesn't open the channel from Yesod to Malchut. There should be a good reason for that. That's why, all our prayers are in plural form, not individual form. So selfish desire is like blocking the light. You can try as much as you want, but nothing happens. And, so many billions of people pray to God, God, give me this, give me that, help me here, you see how poor I am, I'm suffering, for whatever reason. They all cry, but nothing happened. Why? Because there's no light. There's no proper connection to draw the light from Zeir Anpin to Malchut. We need to make a proper connection. We need to elevate, to use Yesod as the bridge. And how we do that? We do it with spiritual connection. And the Tzedaka is the connection to the seven that open the bridge of that and draw the light all the way down to Malchut. And that's why giving money is the aspect, is connection, because when we give money to the poor, actually we bring the energy of the light and open a channel. And if we are here in between, let's say, if we give to the poor, we receive the blessing from God, from the light, and we give it to the poor, so we open a channel. So when we open a channel, then our Yesod, which is the sustenance, the funnel of the light to the world, has continuation, the aspect of continuation. That's why it's not good to keep or to earn money without sharing, at least, tithe it, okay? And that's, even though there is a little difference between tithing and tzedakah, but the principle is the same. Okay, if we're at it, let's explain. Tithing is like taking 10% of what we have and give it back to the light. It means like if we have a little, we take part of it and give it, and then we make room for more light to come. So we create continuation. We have cycle of light that's coming into our life. That's tithing. Tzedaka, it has a different aspect, and we make the connection, we give it, and we can do, there's unlimited, no limitation about tzedakah. So we give to make connection, to bring life. That's why when we give a lot of tzedakah, we also receive a lot of energy of life from the tree of light, from the tree of life. So tzedakah creates a bridge between Malchut and Yesod and allow the light to flow continuously. That's each time we give tzedakah, we open the channel here. Okay, one more thing that we should know. The Zohar in Terumah, paragraph number 92, it says, whoever speaks in the synagogue in mundane issues, woe to him. Because he shows separation. And he lessened the faith, and he doesn't have part in the gods of Israel, because he shows that he's not there. He doesn't make a connection, and it's like it's a shame, because he disconnects from the upper levels. And why is that? When we pray in the synagogue, there's a very specific process of spiritual elevations through the prayers, go from one world to another, and especially on Shabbat, when we have also, after we're doing the Amidah, the world of Atzilut, after we created like the whole vessel, then we come to read the Torah and make a higher connection to the 7 Sefirot, because we have Binah on Shabbat. We connected directly to Binah. So with the 7 Aliyot to the Torah, we make a higher level connection and draw light for the entire week. Or depends on the occasion. If it's a holiday or Rosh Chodesh, then for the month, for the year, etc. So whoever speaks and interrupt the connection, he actually creates separation and disconnect. So a person that disconnects from the light, he doesn't receive anything. And that's why it's very, very important to not to speak during the spiritual connections, especially on Shabbat, when many people come and maybe they feel comfortable. But the synagogue, it's not a social club. I remember, Rav Berg used to say this is a war room. And, in a war room, it must be discipline, And that's a good analogy that he uses, and everyone should do that. There are synagogue in Israel that, whoever speaks is thrown out of the synagogue. Why? Because he ruined for the rest of the people. And can you imagine how many synagogues you have people talking and distracting the others, and they don't listen themselves. So the connection is, instead of 100%, they get maybe 1 or 2%. It's ridiculous. It's very, very important, because if you come to Shabbat and you want to listen to the Torah, then listen to the Torah. It's very stupid, people coming and social club. What's that? If you want to have fun, stay at home. If you want to have a spiritual connection, make the spiritual connection. Meet with your friends before the service or after the service. And it's very serious because, people need to understand that. Because, you don't just draw light for yourself individually, because if you draw light for yourself, it's for the entire community, the environment, it's all together. Everyone depends on each other. That's why you cannot treat the Torah if you don't have at least 10 people. You cannot do Kedusha and holiness, bring holiness if you don't have 10 people. Everything has reason. It's not like that. Anyway, so back to the study. Tzedaka is the connection to the tree of life. When you make spiritual connection, it's also tzedakah. When you give money to the poor, to those who spread the light, it's also tzedakah, and you create continuation, which is very important for the individual and for the entire world, actually. And this is for now.